thinking about it, you know?
Sue's touching on the theory that it was a humiliation initiation.
Well, that's not a bad theory, except so far, I don't know that I've seen that done to a woman yet. It seems like it's done to, at least speculated a lot that it's done to guys and primarily black guys, right? We hear a lot about the black guys having to wear a dress if they want to get to the next level. We've probably all heard about this and the controversy around it, but maybe that's what he was doing. I do believe that humiliating people in a ritualistic way is a big part of Hollywood. I think that's true. Now, being naked is embarrassing for a lot of people, but I don't know. I think that it's a different form of humiliation. It's so accepted for so many people that I don't know. But she did not look happy. To be sure, she did not look happy. I don't think. I mean, when you watched it, Sean, did you think to yourself that was Kanye's idea? Because that was my first thought. Was like, she's not into this. She's not into this. It just looked really. Just uncomfortable, man. To me, she looked uncomfortable. And maybe I'm wrong. Tiffany thinks that it was just maybe some like they didn't have the exact choreography down, and maybe that's what we were looking at. Maybe she's right. Maybe they were happy as hell to do this, and it was just but it didn't look happy.
Right, I'm going to answer that in a moment, but I'm just going to thank we've got 3,000 watching live.
Nice.
I'm going to put Tommy's link to his YouTube channel back in the live chat because we're trying to help him get up to 30,000. And I also want to thank Bailey, not just for the super chat, Bailey, but you've been watching so many of our shows and asking so many questions and really, really contributing to the evening. I just want to thank you for doing that and being such a great supporter of the channel. And it's the questions.
Bailey makes it over to the lifeboat a lot too. So really appreciate you.
The questions make it a lot easier for me than I don't have to sit here thinking up questions all night. So anyway, humiliation ritual theory. So we did have shamanic priestess Emily on before this, and she was asked similar questions. And she said it was more of a balanced dynamic, more of a partners in crime dynamic. What I said was there's a possibility. She is a high-flying architect. She's a powerful woman in her own right. She's got a good job. But just because she's got a good job doesn't mean that she wouldn't get off going to the other extreme of what these guys do when they go and see dominatrixes. You've got the most powerful people in the world, judges,
absolutely,
cops, who like to just submit and do the complete opposite so they can blow off the steam and the pressure from having to be the boss all the time. So, obviously there's something really complex going on between these two that I can't distill down in a silly amateur psychology.
That's probably the smartest thing any of us have said yet today. The Kanye West is not a guy that's easy to figure out when he's having a good day and being normal. And I shouldn't, honestly, I don't know what's going through her head. I have no idea. All you can kind of go on is the interaction between the two of them, which if you look at him, he looks a hell of a lot happier than she does. And maybe that's because he has clothes on. I've read some comments from people that say she dresses like that all the time. Well, that may be the case. It's a little different on the red carpet. And I'm always blown away that he's with an architect. I mean, that's just something that I have a hard time wrapping. How do you run into an architect that you end up falling in love with in this line of work? I feel like that's a strange thing in and of itself. But yeah, she looks embarrassed and on edge. That's what I saw too. And I'm not a woman, so I feel stupid when I say that. And I don't want to, there are people who are saying it's she's taking back feminine power. I don't know. She looks like she's getting pimped out to me. And I'm an ignorant convict. So, but I'm just telling you how it looks to me. Doesn't look like she's taking back power.
I think this question, Sharon, you're going to have to put this one to Beverly. I'm sure she'll be on soon. Do you think the new planetary switch with the feminine energy now being more prominent, that's why Bianca did this, switching male humiliation to female? I mean, it touches on some of what I've just said, but when it comes to planetary movements and energies, you're going to have to hand that one over to Beverly. You got some on that, Tommy?
Yeah, I would say this. I'm not smart enough to necessarily understand exactly how these energy shifts are working. And there are people that do that are really tied into that. But what I will tell you is that I've never experienced or felt anything in my life like what's happening in my country right now in 2025. There is a shift and I like it. I will tell you that, man. Um, it seems to me that we're all moving closer to love. And I hate to sound like I'm singing kumbaya and stuff, but at least within the crowds that I'm seeing, there are people that are talking about love versus hate and talking about things like good versus evil. And those are conversations that we've been afraid to have for a long time. So I do feel like we're moving in the right direction. I'm not sure if I understand all of the rest of it, but that's
So, Nicky,
probably a good point.
if a guy did that, would he be charged with indecent exposure? What's the laws over there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely he would. You can't show male genitalia. So if he had just had his junk out there for the world to see, yeah, you'd get arrested for that. Although I would say normal people would get arrested for that. It's Hollywood. Maybe they give him an award. I don't know.
So Hulla is alleging that Bianca has signed a contract with consent with Kanye that she's obliged to do whatever he says, including beep, and wear what he says. He is a control freak. She could be an exhibitionist. Well, it's oddly enough on my Instagram, I think it is. There's been like images and stuff coming up of him parading her around for a while. That's culminated in this red carpet event. So
He
there is
kind
a
of he kind of
pattern.
has a type, doesn't he? You know what I mean? I mean, if you pulled her out, you wouldn't go, yeah, she looks nothing like a Kardashian. I mean, if you look at her, she definitely looks more like a Kardashian than more not like a Kardashian. It seems to me that he's got a type.
And if people didn't see earlier, look at her eyes now, and then look at the eyes of one of the Stepford wives. Do you see parallels? Let me know if you see parallels.
Absolutely, man. That's a creepy movie too. Especially the original. The original is really a creepy movie.
Yeah. Now her sister is getting a little spotlight too. Have you seen her recently? I don't. I know. I've only just become aware of Bianca because of this properly.
Yeah, I had read her name a bunch of times in Kanye articles, but I've never gone to look at who she was.
Yeah.
Allegedly, they did get thrown out of the Grammys. That is what. There is no white in them eyes. They're demonic. Yeah, I mean it does. And you've heard you hear a lot of people talk about the eyes in Hollywood, right? You've heard all of it. The Stepford eyes, the raccoon eyes, right? It's different. The guys get those, sort of. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are getting really, really damaged. They were not invited. No, they were not. They did not invite them to the Grammys. So, and if you, I played the whole clip this morning of just her walking up on the carpet, and it's very quiet. You'll hear a handful of paparazzi yelling or whatever, but nothing like when the whole crowd's there. I have a feeling that Ye showed up a little late. Could be wrong, but that's kind of how it looked.
Does anyone have enough power to bring down the demons spiritually? I think they're bringing themselves down.
Yeah, I think that it takes it just takes a planetary shift. I mean that. I think that what happened is we got far away from connection and love and things like that. And I think we're moving back.
So, could Kanye be trying to become the next Diddy?
I don't think so. I don't know that anyone necessarily wants to be the next Diddy. It's been alleged that maybe the other Sean is kind of into it. We're going to find a lot more out about that dude in the next 2 weeks. That's all I got to say about that. There's going to be more coming out.
Is that question asking to become the next Diddy, as in replace Diddy's success, or become the next deviant Diddy?
I think what they're referring to is the next deviant Diddy. Well,
Okay.
listen, let's just think for a second, right? Maybe there's no connection between him and Epstein. Maybe there isn't. But it seems to me that there were two very similar operations that were being run, right? It seems like there was a big push to get famous people to hang out, allegedly, and then get them in compromising pictures, very often with people underweight or whatever, right? Um, and then there was the Diddy thing that looks like it's the exact same. Now there's a vacuum. Is there nobody out there blackmailing famous people and doing that? So I think people are waiting to see who's going to be the next lowlife.
Is Kanye in a war with the fashion industry? Why would he be going out wearing no shoes or letting his wife wear almost nothing?
So the no shoes thing is a shot at Adidas, right? Because he came out and made a bunch of anti-Semitic remarks about Jews running Hollywood, and the people who run, right, the Dassler family or whatever,